Konnichiwa. A strange place to start, but a workplace injury means I need to get my foot up. So, yeah. Right, anyway. Onto the... so why did I show you that at the beginning? Well, one, helps document it. Basically a 10 kilogram gym weight fell on my foot whilst at work, which was less than fun, and half a day out in A&E to get it seen to. But yes, also is why we're going to have to do sort of this as I'm doing it now, rather than how I'd like to do it normally. So I'll be fitting this. This is the Railway Collection, Tomytec Railway Collection 5040, I think it's the OMI line. EMU, made of two different older EMUs. That's why the cars are different size to make new unit. And you'll see there's the bits required to make it motorised, because these are static models when they first come. So there's the motor unit, and here is the trailer. Now the bit I forgot to get was the pantograph, which is that last bit there. So it has got a fixed pantograph. You might just be able to see it there. I'll get it out in a second. Yeah, I'll probably look at it anyway. But I've also got stinking cold as well. It's just marvellous, and it really is. But I'll get out so you can have a proper look at it. So there we are, nice and close up. So you can see the plastic pantograph, which is permanently fixed up there. It's got a, they call Scharfenberg couplings at the very front of the unit on the left there. Obviously a standard engaged coupling on the between the two cars. I'm thinking I'm going to replace those, the ones between the cars, with knuckles. Anyway, as part of the process, sorry, doing my best here. I've been absolutely desperate, so all week I've been trying to get the energy up and that to do this. So show you the other end. This is the longer vehicle. This is the 40. So you see there are different designs. It's got a far more sloped roof at the front than this one. Apart from the length, you know, it's quite clear. They're similar area but different designs. So that's the other way around. So obviously this doesn't show the conversion process. I won't be able to show the conversion process off on this one, but when they get the trams, who also need a chassis motor chassis cutting, I'll show it when I do that one, because hopefully I'll be in somewhat better health and a better position to do it. Okay, but so I'll see in a moment once I've done what I need to. I do need to still order a pantograph that I can raise and lower. I might just have to take this one off for now for running it on the layout, because obviously there's the issue with them capturing the trees. But we'll try it with first and then see how we get on. So I know I said I wasn't going to try and show you the process, but I'm going to try and show you the process. So here is the motorised chassis, and here is the one it comes with. See the plastic wheels. Now these don't have lights in them at all, not even headlights and tail lights, so yeah. And the only other thing is, of course, you lose the representation of the seating within, but you know, it's a way of getting some more unique pieces for your collection. So you see I've done one already here. What you basically have to do is, it comes like this, and you've got to choose the bogie frame that matches the one on the non-running chassis. You've got these sprues here, so I've come to the conclusion on this one that it is the DT10 that is the closest. So all we need to do is clip it out with some side cutters and then just clean it up from the attachment points. It didn't take much to do, just a bit to take the burrs off here. So I thought I'd try and show you some little bits like this. Let's take the other one off. And then it's just a case of, so you've got 3 holes there, you've got 3 pegs on that bit. It's basically just a case of pushing that into there, and there we are, there's that. So I'll do the same for the other end now. So I'm sat in a very awkward position as well, because I've got to keep that foot up, so it's not the most comfortable thing in the world, but like I say, just some sharp side cutters to do that bit. I've decided against fitting the knuckle couplings this just now, because I can make better use of those on something else. I've got other videos to make. Hopefully when my voice is a bit better, I've got some new announcements to make. If not, I just have to might just have to do it with a bit of a croak. There's new Tomytec models, new Green Max and Pop and Detta to look at, but not been too poorly to make the pre-orders, of course. So we are again just bringing this. You got the instruction sheet here, tells you how to do it all really, but yeah. So let's do a bit. You've seen me unclip one already and clean up 2, so I won't bore you with that bit again. But yeah, so yeah, some very cool trains come out. I'll just drop that on the floor, so we'll have to go and get that. And some pre-orders have been made, but yes, we'll have to cover those in a separate video, of course. Anyway, back in a moment. Well, that really was back in a moment. It literally just fell on right next to me. For once, easy to spot. But yeah, I've been wanting to do this all week. I've got 2 Cato locomotives here that are not even test run yet. Running, of course they're going to work. Any testing they're going to work, but not been able to do anything all week. It's been a combination of far too tired or injured to do it. Yeah, there we go. So there we go. So that's now the bogies now look. Oh, sorry, bogies now look proper there. So next we have some side frame detail to go in. So you don't get that with, here's the bits you get with the chassis. You actually pull them off the existing unit. So just gently throw it away. Oh, take that bit off. Oh, come on. Should try to gently pull this away. The first one came out really easy, didn't it? The first bit came out really easy. Yeah, that's where it gets bent. Because the idea is you basically put that, see the holes underneath there, and on the side, it goes in those same bits. So I'll try and get these out. Give me a second. Second time that's happened. Give me a second, and it immediately does it. So yeah, so you take that and just push it up into there, and now you've got your underframe detail. You got your underframe detail in place on the model, so now it looks more like a running chassis. So yes, we'll do this side now. There we are. So being careful not to bend it too much. So, of course, it's important to remember which way is the front. So at the minute it's pointing back. The front's to my right, or to our right here, because you're looking the same way as I am. So front's this end. So turn it back round so it's facing the same way as the body, but there we are, so that's that bit done. So what we really want now, I don't note it comes with a dummy coupling there, it doesn't. Right, so what we need to do is we need to get this dummy coupling out of here. It should just be press fit as well, because we want that to go on the front of our new unit. That fits all of those. So again, it's just a case of choosing the right one of these to go on there. Small, medium and large. So I'm going to have to use the phone's doobry to find out which one we need. To fit that. I'm thinking of small myself because it's only a small unit, isn't it? But yeah, I think it's going to be small. Can always change it. You see the instructions show one of these going in at both ends. But we're not body mounting the couplers on there. Or on the bogey, it shouldn't. So now, with some trains, there are bits that clip onto the side of this bit. So you see you've got some nubs on this one. Sorry about fingernail there. And they're again there, but not on this one, the one I've chosen, because there's nothing to clip on the front of it. No air dams or anything like that. So, remembering where the front is. That just presses in nice and tight onto there. Now you can't fit a coupling to the bogey if you're putting this on, and that's just dropped out of that. Okay, give me a second. Okay, trying again. So there's the coupling in its little pocket. Try and make sure I've got that the right way around. Obviously it needs to function, but it does need to look right. So it's just a case of lining that up with the holes under there and putting it in. That's the idea anyway, as it goes in like that, but yes, I'm about to do it off camera, but you get the idea. So there we are, it's now fitted on the front there, and it gives the right aesthetic. Okay, so now it's going to be fitting the coupler to the rear. So you see this little nub on the bogie there at the back, that's on here, you can see it again there. You've got the different sizes of coupling to go on, so I'll try and keep it short. Some of them I made have been a bit too long, but yeah, so I'll experiment and see which one fits the best. I might actually have to put the body on to do this, so obviously compare it with, you know, couple it to that and make sure it's nice and close. So that's actually on the shortest one it can use, which is straight off the coupling. So I might end up fitting this with knuckles anyway, but yes, this bit is actually technically finished with that in mind, but I'll fit the knuckles first, and then because you do get slightly closer coupling with the knuckles anyway. And that's going to be standard as per one of the previous videos I put up, because it's the coupling is this design with the spring where you sort of twist it in and out, and that's going to be pretty similar, even though this is Tomytec, and you know the last one I showed you was Cato, but yeah. But so I can actually do a test run with this one now and see if it works. But I'll get that knuckle fitted for the test that it all works. Coupling to that, but yeah, that's the best we're going to get on there. At least it does couple to the F15 nicely. So once we get the equivalent on here, hopefully it's going to mean we're going to have at least that gap. I think it's not going to be perfect, but it should at least be something better. I had to actually take out the spring in the end entirely. There's no spring in there, but hopefully it should be alright. We'll find out, I suppose. But yes, I mean ultimately I would like to get lights and things in these, but also you can see the headlights up here, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge. There'll be a way to do it. Right, anyway, let's get onto the track. About time I saw a train move in here. Here we are at the layout. Here we are. I can't be very long with this because obviously not putting weight on my foot, but forwards it works, yeah, and reverse. So I'm going to let that run in now. Hold on to the aircon unit. At least it gets around with the pantograph up, so we should be able to want this out of track for a bit. Alright, right, I'll leave that running in and then I'll get back to you once the full train's ready, or the full train's ready. I'm just going to fit the trailer. It's basically the same process, but I'll film any bits I feel are significant. You probably have hear this running in the background. Right, see you. The whole thing's significant really. But we have to take the plastic wheels off. And fit the metal ones supplied. And also some weights in there. And there's the coupling parts as before, but we could probably use the ones from the main unit so we get some spares. So yes, the first thing I've got to do is get the body off. And do that. There we are, nice and easy. into a cab unit on that one. So just pop out like that. And put a weight in there. I think there's enough for 2 trailers in these bags, but I think it's 2. There's enough wheels for 2 as well. Yeah, here's the weight. And then we pop the body, the detail back in, like that. And that's that bit done. Okay, so while I'm here, I'm going to remove this coupling. It should just lift off. There we are. Then we're going to take this one, turn it, remove that. And now we need to get rid of that spring as well, so out that comes. And that's the way up it wants to be. Find the Cato knuckles. Cut myself 2 of those out. Well, one of those 2 components for the one. Build them as before. Because of the way I'm sitting, the foot that's not up in the air is getting pins and needles because it's the way I'm sitting, cutting off the circulation to that one. Oh dear. I'll just assemble these. That's better if I lean back a little bit to do that. It allows blood back down again, that's good. It's the trouble when you want to video something to show, you know, show processes and things like that, but you're then in a position where you can't, so you can't play with new toys either. So there we are, so there's the coupling. Also I want it to be that way. I want it to be that way eventually, so down there, and then basically twist into place. I had to use a screwdriver before just to push it round, so let's do that. So there we are, there's that coupling all constructed and ready to go in. But before we put that on, we'll just swap these wheels out. So there's the originals. So, sadly the new ones aren't spoked like that. So we'll take the plastics out, literally just pop those out, pop these ones in. Oh. Lined it properly, there we are. And the next ones. There we are, so now we've got the nice metal wheels on that one. Then we take the coupler. Just slots over the back there. And again, I need to use a screwdriver just to put enough weight. Basically, not weight, leverage over the small solid components. That's it, like that. Okay, so it's now got the knuckle as well. So now I'll just do the other bit. Here are the wheels. So this one's relatively straightforward, as I say. Obviously, you'd have 2 sets of couplings to do if it was more than a 2-car unit. 2 sets per train, per carriage. But as it's only a 2-car, it's only the one end really needs the coupling. Not found any pictures of these pulling anything else. There we are. So it's now ready for the body to go back on. And to get the front at the right end. I think that's getting quieter in the background, not sure. I'm obviously getting used to it. Come on. It's quite a tight fit, but then you want it to be, so you want it coming off, do you? There we are. Like that. And then the obligatory test. The coupling. And there we go. Nice and that's cool. And the fact that that one sticks underneath the unit a little bit will bring the 2 coaches quite close together as well. So hopefully that well works out alright. If not, basically, as you can see here, there are little spacer pieces you can add in to increase it slightly. Alright, well, I'm going to start with this one because I want them to try and be nice and close together. Right, well, once that's running, we'll get them together, make modifications to that if we need to, and if not, then we'll get some running shots as it go around the layout. Right, see you in a moment. So no adjustments needed. So we've managed to achieve quite a close coupling there. And again, I hope you appreciate that it's not going to be quite the same as some of the other running videos I've got. Just because I need to keep my foot up. So with that, just need to say arigato gozaimashita, take care all, and sayonara. Thank you for watching. Hope it's been of interest. Sorry, I'd like to be back to normal production in the next one.